Asia, a tapestry of tradition from ancient bells to peaceful temples. Let's uncover its superstitions that have been passed through generations. Writing the names of the living in red ink is a taboo in some Asian cultures due to its link with physical and spiritual death. In Korea, the names of the deceased were written in red on their tombstones. Criminals on death row in ancient China had their names marked in chicken blood. It is an old Chinese saying that the king of Hades used to record the names of those who were going to hell in vermilion. Sticking a pair of chopsticks upright into a bowl of food is considered a taboo in Asian culture. It is believed that doing so would attract dead spirits to dine with you. Reason being, chopsticks placed in such a manner resemble incense sticks used in funerals. In Korea, students who are preparing for their exams are advised to eat chewy taffy candy. Due to its sticky nature, it is believed that it would help knowledge obtained from studying stick to students' minds, or in other words, boost knowledge retention. We interviewed Professor Caleb to learn more about Asian superstitions.
So I think there's many parts of Asia where we see, despite political systems and administrative structures changing quite drastically in the last 50 years or so, we continue to see the use of traditional customs, myths, superstitions, and see these incorporated in daily political life as well. I think Indonesia provides a great example of this. Leaders such as Suharto and Sukarno went to great lengths to sort of depict themselves as being descendants from traditional ideas around Javanese sort of kings and the mythology related to that. And Indonesian politics is also often referred to as being similar to wayang, or traditional Indonesian puppetry folk tales as well. On top of that, if we look at a place like Bali, we see regularly within political life the sort of use of traditional customs. Cremation ceremonies, for instance, have a prominent role to play in daily social and political life, and these draw upon superstitions and myths from the past, but have sort of been amalgamated into contemporary political life. I think especially with tradition and superstition, there is the potential for these to be subversive too, and to provide a form or a source by which to engage in protest. I think if you look at Asia in the last 50 years, there has certainly been some attempt to sort of eradicate tradition and superstition. I think the People's Republic of China and the Cultural Revolution that ensued there from 1966 to 1976 was underpinned by this aim to eradicate the four olds, essentially get rid of tradition, and we see the destruction of many traditional heritage sites, but also the eradication of superstitions and anything seen to be backwards. The same point though, when this occurs, is also the potential for superstition, folk tales, to become politically subversive.
But what do the youth say?
Yes, as I said, so people sleep in front of the mirror. That is not good. That is not a good thing. So in Australia, people don't have this kind of like superstition. So I did have a closet with a mirror in front of my bed. So every time when I get ready for sleeping, I always use a big towel to cover it up.
The main one actually was called the evil eye, or in Hindi as we call it nazar. When you or your child or your family member was doing particularly well in life, we believed that another individual would cast an evil eye or a curse for them to fail or perform poorly at what they were previously performing pretty well at. In our household, we believed that this was like a bad thing, essentially, when your child felt sick or they failed a unit or whatever the cause was. And what we did was take a piece of lime and spin it around the head 3 times clockwise and 3 times counterclockwise, and then put that lime on the stove and burn it. We signified the scent of lime, however strong the smell of the burning lime is, to how bad or strong the curse was. And then we wrap the lime up in newspaper and probably chuck it in a water body as a symbol of getting rid of the curse.
In a nutshell, superstitions are a fascinating aspect of Asian culture. We've weaved together a story of superstitions that hail from the past and the present, celebrating Asia's unique beliefs and practices.